We're in. Are we in? Are we in?
We're in.
Alrighty, guys. Cool. How's it going?
Welcome to Periscope. Just yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've not used Periscope before. I'm just with my buddy Ollie, who's chilling. Yeah, I've not used this before. It's the first time I've actually used it and tuned in. And it's pretty cool. So we've got Real Deal 85. How's it going?
Hey, Real Deal.
How you doing, Real Deal? You doing well?
They're sending us love already.
Chin, we've got Chin. Check where we're at. We've just been actually in Cafe Royale at the moment, and that's what we want to talk about on the broadcast. Actually, is just to really go deep into what we do and also how we do it. So how can we have a lifestyle where our business runs around that lifestyle? Because most of us get it the other way around. Is we have, for example, our goal is let's work really hard, then we get the money, then we retire. But what if we could have a business that can fit in our lifestyle and vision, isn't it, Ollie? I mean, that's what we've been doing today. I mean, maybe you want to
have a look.
Talk about it.
Alright, guys. Just waiting for people to roll in, really, and we'll get started. Just going to be a very casual Q&A, so make sure you enter your questions whilst we're talking, and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. We're literally just going to be discussing how you can combine Amazon and property harmoniously to create a lifestyle business for yourself, and also how we do it and what we do, you know, throughout an average day. Why we're here as well, just chilling in the spa, and yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Can they hear us okay as well?
Can you guys hear us? Just type in the chat, make sure you can hear us alright. Who's that? Hey Powell.
Can they hear us?
Glad to have you on, man. Try and get us both in this shot.
Yeah.
Hey Woody. Good stuff. They can hear us loud and clear.
Cool. Should we get in here so they can both see
Yeah,
us?
let's have a little wander maybe, or something.
Yeah, we'll take you around, guys. But one thing that's important that I wanted to say is one thing that's important to say is it is a broadcast. Obviously, it's natural, it's raw, but I want to break it down. So you're seeing us here, and you're thinking, oh, how do you do it? I'm going to give you some practical actions and steps. I'm actually going to show you the laptop. Me and Ollie are going to show you the laptop, and maybe we'll move away from there. It's a little bit loud.
Yeah, we'll show you cleaning something, so we're going to take a wander.
We're going to show you a few bits and pieces. We're going to show you a few bits and pieces of the back end of the laptops, what we do, how we run our business remotely, basically from anywhere around the world. And that's what we're doing. That's what we want to talk about. Maybe we can move it here a little bit.
Sideways.
And yeah, sideways show. But that's what we want to talk about. Is how can you run it from anywhere around the world? What do you do? What's the processes? I'm going to be asking Ollie a few questions about Amazon and so forth. But yeah, so any questions? Well, we've got Amazon opening a brick and mortar store in Seattle.
Really? Tell us a bit more about that, man.
Yeah, go in.
I haven't heard anything about that.
And just a shout out, how's it going, guys? Anyone I know one here at the moment? Anyone that was on the webinar last night?
Who's that? James
from Dubai.
Hey, man.
Hey, James, how's it going?
Is that Mr. Paul? Hey, man.
Yes.
Hello again.
Who have we got there? Sorry, I'm zooming in here. My eyes are bad. The side version. This is pretty interesting. Because it's new. I'm used to sort of, you know, standing up, waving my hands and speaking in front of people.
I'm trying to read the comments.
Yeah, I was on the webinar. Did you like the webinar?
Ah, bookstore.
Tell me if it was awful. I won't care. I'm joking. No. Let me know. Give me the feedback on that. We'll wait for a few of you guys to sign in and then we'll get into it. Can you hear us okay as well? On the webinar, hey. Sorry, I can't see the name.
It's quite small, so we've got to like put our faces right into it.
Yeah, the writing's really small. Can you hear us okay as well? Let me know. Okay, James Echo, hear you fine. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So I'm going to show you, I'm going to ask, we'll sit down actually.
Yes, thank you.
As well.
Should we just give them a little
sit down.
Where we are? Got some nice little seats in the corner of the pool here. Now just relax. Give you guys a nice little introduction.
So we're going to start off with a few questions. We're going to start off with a few questions that I was going to ask Ollie, and basically what I wanted to talk about is how does Amazon and creative property investing, the way I do it, fit? How do they match? So I'm going to ask you a question, Ollie. What do you do and how do you run your business from anywhere in the world? How do you run it with just this thing here? How is it possible you run your Amazon business from here?
Okay, so start off basically, It's down to how you use strategies you already know about and implement them in a way where you can be anywhere. So you guys probably already know this if you've read my ebook or if you've done any research on Amazon at all in the past, but you can do drop shipping with Amazon. You can sell stuff with FBA, reselling stuff that you get from suppliers and shops and things locally, and you can do private labels. And basically, in order to do those things remotely, for example, drop shipping is already remote, so you can literally just get your supplier to send things to customers, and you can be anywhere in the world just looking over everything. But with FBA, you can do things like use fulfillment centers or FBA prep centers to be the middleman between your supplier and Amazon. So you can literally send stuff to these prep centers and they will quality control check everything, get it ready and send it into your account on your behalf.
Also, I was going to say about white labels as well, because this is something, guys. Is it if you pass out, take that?
Yeah.
This is something I wanted to talk about as well. Was I'm just going to keep pinging across and basically me asking Ollie questions and so on. But I was talking about and white labels as well. So at the moment, I've not actually done Amazon, but I've seen Ollie's growth. You know, making anywhere 6 to 8K a month, and then you've got other products through FBA that are just automatically selling now, haven't you? A lot, and it's amazing stuff. But I wanted to create a business, and this is where I've run my own property business, and that runs automatically, and it runs from anywhere in the world. I do about 5 to 10 deals a month, and I have a team in place. I'm going to show you some of the back end systems and stuff. I'm going to show you the back end of Podio as well, how I run that. So as you can see my team here. I run my coaching business from here and a few other little bits and pieces. This is where everything runs pretty much. This is my virtual office, and this is similar. And this goes on to my question, and coming back to white labels. Why would I'm doing creative property investment? Why would I want to go into Amazon? Why would I even want to do it? Because I'm doing pretty good. The reason why I want to go into it is because it's an automated business, isn't it? Or tell them about it. Or tell them about white labels. Yeah. This is something. Who, by the way, quick question, guys. Who is interested in white labels? Write in the comments, because this is something we're actually doing a workshop at the end of the month, and we're going to be going into creative property investing. Whoever hasn't got into that, maybe you want to get into it, and I want to go through a few little bits and how it works. Some of you that don't know it, and so on. But who is also interested in Amazon and all these creative strategies? Just put in the chat box who you're interested, and we can go into a lot more detail. Back to
Awesome,
Ollie.
Definitely interested. Good stuff. Liking those little hearts. Still not quite sure what they do, but I'm sure they're good. I'm sure they're a good thing. So yeah, with private labels, the great thing is once you've done your research and you've tested something and you know that it works, you can be really, really confident in investing more money. And what will happen is you'll just be sending in a few thousand units into your account from China, and you can literally be anywhere in the world whilst this is happening, and then Amazon will actually handle all of these sales for you. So once a customer decides to purchase one of your products, you've obviously done a lot of marketing and things to get it going, so lots of customers do buy things from you. Every time you make a sale, Amazon will process it for you on your behalf. So you can be anywhere on the planet whilst Amazon is processing all these orders for you, and all you have to do is reorder when you run out of stock. So with property, obviously you're working larger chunks of time to get larger chunks of money. With Amazon, you'll get loads and loads and loads of small amounts of profit, between 5, 10, 15 pounds per product, where they'll just be churning out, say, 10, 20, 30 times a day. So it's really nice to have that kind of consistent income coming in. And this is something I've been working towards, and it's working really well. So yeah, so Tom, do you want to talk about the difference between perhaps property investors, how they traditionally do things, like before you came along with all your remote strategies and things? Yes. How would the property investor go about making money, flipping deals or buying and selling houses before it was remote, and what have you added to the property business in order to allow people to go anywhere in the world and run the business just from a laptop.
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to grab some water as well.
Yeah,
I'll take
go
it.
ahead.
Just going to grab some water, guys, as well. It's pretty raw, but that's a good question by Ollie. I'm going to get onto it now. Let me just quickly grab some water real quick. Check it out, man. How do you like the view? I mean, it wasn't too long ago now, guys, that I was literally working in GNC, earning £750 a month. Lost, basically, stuck. I didn't know where to go, and I'm sure there's people that can relate, and I'm sure there's people on the call that also broke through. And that's what these businesses do. They're lifestyle businesses that allow you to work from anywhere you want, and you can do this all remotely. It's a lifestyle business, and it doesn't matter how much money you have right now, how much credit you have, or how much experience you have, either in Amazon or creative property investing the way I do it, you can do it. So let me just quickly grab some water a second. 2 seconds, guys. It's a little. Can you hold that? 2
Yeah, I
seconds.
thought I'd come and join you. It looks a little bit lonely over here.
Show them that fancy.
Check out
Look
this
at my
pool.
fancy.
It's crazy here. It's ridiculous.
Guys, this is. Let me just ask you a quick question, Ollie. Seriously, this is genuine. Like, this is. Sometimes I have to pinch myself, guys, to realise I can work in a cafe, and I do work. I mean, I believe in work, and I spend a lot of time coaching. But my business runs 4 hours a week. My property deals business from my personal input, and I'm going to answer your question in a second. I'm just going to go back.
Awesome.
But like, it's crazy, isn't it? How we can do it. I mean, how much hours did you work today in your business?
Today, to be honest with you, like I've had a few things to catch up on. I've been a bit, letting a few tasks slip over the past few days, just working, 10, even half an hour. I think I worked yesterday. Today, I'll probably work 3 or 4 hours, and that for me was like a long day. Not to rub it in any of you full-timers or anything, but once you've got everything systemized, once you've got Amazon doing half the work for you, you've got VAs in different parts of the world doing the work for you, that can be your reality, and it's not that far-fetched once you understand kind of just how to get everything set up. So let's go back to Tom with basically the question I asked was what were property investors doing before you came along, especially in the UK, and what have you done to change the scene and enable people to run a property business from anywhere in the world?
Okay, good question, man. So this is the traditional property investor. What they do is their goal is, let me try and get properties agreed at a below market value price, or maybe I'm doing different creative strategies such as lease options and so forth. But for me, I wanted to stand up. And for me, I wanted to have a different way of doing it. So I've been doing it about 4 years now. I've been working, I call it full-time, part-time. And what I do and what the difference is I basically source deals, I package deals, and I also keep my own deals, my own portfolio. But I do this without meeting sellers or viewing any of the houses. I know you said, and what was the second part of your question? How has that changed things?
Yeah, so how does that change
What people used to do? What people used to do and still do is they go in their car and they go meet the sellers, and they spend all this time meeting unqualified leads, meeting sellers that aren't even interested, and they don't go to the most important thing in this business, and that's learning sales and negotiation over the phone. Because the amazing thing is, when I can pick up my iPhone or my team work from home, they work from home with their laptops and an internet connection. They can jump on their laptops and they can start closing deals over the phone. So what's my steps? My system, essentially, some of you guys already know me, some of you guys might be new to me, but what I believe is I model business models. So I'll give you an analogy of Starbucks. Starbucks first has a system in place. That's what I do. I'm going to show you the back end of that Podio that I use. And also they have a system is some daily actions and daily tasks that happen every single day within your business, pretty much. And once you can start getting that in flow and you know what tasks happen, someone in a coffee shop, someone pours the coffee, someone puts out the food, someone cleans, someone does the till. Once you know what daily tasks happen within the creative property business, your next job, the second phase, is how can I be a marketing expert? How can I generate leads on a consistent basis? And how can I do that through different online techniques, different offline techniques, and all of this good stuff. And that comes from Facebook advertising, Facebook retargeting, Google ads, direct mail, and many, many different strategies. Bandit signs, ugly marketing, newspaper advertising, radio, TV. Your job, once you've got systems in place, like Starbucks, once they've got their premises in place, what is their job? Tell me. Maybe someone, once you've got your shop all set up, what do you need to make money? Someone write in the chat box what you need to make money. You need leads, you need customers, you need leads coming in on a consistent basis. And Ollie, that question is, most property investors have no leads coming in, and the leads they do have are not qualified, they're not motivated, and they're spending time viewing houses. Who has time to view 10 houses a day across the country? I created a system where I could generate leads coming into my virtual office, I call it, and then I actually learn the sales, persuasion, and techniques of asking the right questions, qualifying early, getting a commitment, knowing how to build rapport with the seller. And once I do that, as long as I have this baby here, a phone, or a laptop and an internet connection, I can do it from anywhere in the world. That's my system, and I'm in a fortunate enough position where we're doing anywhere between 5 to 10 deals a month. But I'm not actually involved in the business, because that's it pretty much, Ollie. How can someone work on the business instead of in the business? It'd be interesting to learn more about the specific negotiation techniques you use. Hey buddy, how's it going? The specific negotiation techniques, a good question. I'm going to come on to that in a little bit, and what I actually do. I'll give you a few tips now before I ask Ollie a few questions, because his stuff, man, what he's doing is amazing, honestly. I'm so excited about this. I've seen Ollie go from like, what was it, 0 to like 8k now.
Yeah, January I earned about £20.
So did you hear that? January is earning £20 from Amazon. He's now making 7 to 8k, and that's going to be next year. If the way it's doubling, it'll be 150 to 200k per annum. And that's something. Think about that, guys. Have a think about that. How could that change your life? Seriously, don't listen to these sort of podcasts and stuff and take them for granted, because that could be you. You could be doing that. And same for creative property investing. And that's why we're doing the workshop at the end of the month. The last workshop I had 20 people that filled out like that, and this is why we're doing that. Obviously, I want to train more people. Ollie wants to coach more people. Hence why we're doing this Periscope, offering value and stuff like that. So who is interested, wait to the end, and there's an opportunity for you to actually come and meet us in person, and we're going to roll up our sleeves and actually get the systems done. It's not going to be a guru, isn't it, Ollie? We're not doing that.
No.
What's going to be different about it?
Okay, so the main thing I don't necessarily like about gurus is, well, I say gurus, what really defines a guru, but it's someone who kind of expects you to need them by your side constantly, forever, because they don't reveal to you all of the information that you need in order to be able to run the business or do whatever you need to do by yourself. What we aim to do is give you all the tools you need so you can go away and then you'll never need us again, in theory, right? We'll obviously always be here to support you, and we'll always have new content if you're interested, but the systems that we'll be giving you, basically you'll be able to run all by yourself, which is really, really exciting. And that's something I've done. I've learned from people, found courses, found loads of info on places like YouTube and stuff like that, and I've tested what works from it, and I've had a lot of trial and error, and it's quite a steep learning curve, and now I'm getting to the point where I know what works and doesn't work, and I can really try and pass that stuff on to you guys. Someone just asked what kind of private label products I'd recommend. Okay, well, there's a load of stuff you need to think about with private label products. I might as well try and answer that question now. So with private label products, one of the main things you need to think about is the size. Okay, you probably wouldn't want it to be much bigger than, say, 8 by 8 by 8 inches, so like an 8-inch on each side cube sort of thing. You also want it to be kind of light, and you probably want it to be a relatively cheap investment, so between like $2 to $4 or something like that when you're looking for things on Alibaba. Say skincare products can be good. You do need approval to sell skincare products on Amazon, but you can get that relatively easily. I can show you how to get ungated. Great thing about skincare products is they're replenishable. So say you have one for sale that's selling, sells 300 times, those customers, if they love it, they'll buy it again. So you'll build up a really loyal base of customers buying your skincare products over and over again. There's a few things I'd say stay away from. I personally wouldn't ever do supplements because there's just so many laws in the UK about that. I wouldn't do anything electronic either, and try and stick to things that are small and light. And then if you stick to those kind of tips, then hey there, hey man, how you doing?
Who's with us?
Let's see what else we got. What sales price or profit do you look for in a private label? I look for things between £15 and £60 generally, just because no matter how much time you spend looking for a product, what am I trying to say here? Basically, whatever profit margin you make on a product, the time you need to spend to look for it is exactly the same. So if you're making £30 per sale or £5 per sale, it takes you so many hours to find it, so many hours to test it. So you don't want to be, buying something for $2 and selling it for £5. Probably best at least £15 on each sale. So yeah. So Tom, do you want to go through maybe a couple of systems that these guys can start getting set up?
Can we double tap it and show them so I can speak?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just going to spend a couple of minutes. By the way, guys, if you've got any questions and we're talking and we don't get to answer them, just type them in again a bit later when we've got a couple seconds, and we'll try and get through to all of you. So what we're going to do is flip you over now to Tom's computer, and he's going to show you a couple of systems you can implement yourselves today in your property.
Okay, how are we doing? Okay guys, cool. How are we doing here? Just trying to make sure that's working. Okay, cool. So, as I said earlier, what is the virtual office I use and how does that allow me to actually run the business remotely? So, this is Podio. And some of you guys, who's familiar with Podio? Some of you guys already know Podio, but who is actually using it? Because Podio is my CRM, and what is the use for Podio? Well, it's to manage leads. It's to basically run your business from anywhere. So let me see how that is. Might be a little bit better. Show you.
So what's been happening on Podio today whilst you've been...
So Podio, so this is what's happening basically in Podio. So, and I'm going to show you how I have leads automatically zap into Podio and how my team follows up and closes all of them leads for me essentially. So this is my current leads and deals app. There we go, let's see how that is. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Bear with me, I'm just going to go down. So this is a lead that's been zapped in, okay? Let me give you an example of today's leads that have popped in. There's a new lead that's come in there, Tony Desmond, that's popped in. That's a brand new lead that's just come in. And these leads have all come from Google Ads. So I'm getting leads automatically coming in on autopilot, and I'll show you what the systems I use for them to automatically come in. So if I click on Malcolm there, what's happened is this. So Malcolm's been popped in. I'm going to show you the systems I use to actually manage that. So let's have a look. So the numbers come in here, and this has automatically come in. So the address he's filled out via an online lead, and I'm going to show you how this works. And it automatically comes up. So when my sales team, which is outsourced, speaks to them to build the extra bit of rapport, we can automatically do a street view, and we can get a bit more rapport in the house, a bit more rapport with the seller, and so on. Do you know what I mean? So that's what's awesome, and that happens within the system. So if I go back, where are we? Let's go back real quick. And look, so I can see all of that status of that new lead. So first attempt, second, and he's filled in details. Let me show you some important details. So he's filled in what his property is worth. He thinks it's worth 45,000. He's saying his mortgage is 20,000. So this information's automatically zapped in, guys. I'm not doing a traditional way of leaflets and all of that stuff that doesn't work and doesn't have any return on investment. And he's also filled out the details, which is important. So the notes, and this has come in automatically. Reason for selling and moving in with parents. What do you think that is? That's motivation. They want to sell in 4 weeks, and the best callback time is 12 to 1. So let me quickly go through this for you. these leads, my team are doing this. So my team are calling, and my team are here. Christina helps me close deals. She's Mel helps me screen the leads, and I work with other property investors that I partner with as well. I'm not involved in the business, so as long as I'm managing leads, as long as I'm managing my marketing, and marketing is going out, and I use things like Google Ads and so forth. You can see my Google Ads here. I use Google AdWords and Facebook ad campaigns and all of that good stuff, and I also do a lot of direct mail as well. As long as I've got marketing coming in, as long as I have that coming in, then I know for a fact that I'm going to be doing deals, okay? On average, it takes about 30 leads to do a deal. These are some systems. So how does this lead automatically zap in? So how do I get this lead come into my system? So this is Zapier, and what Zapier does here, so if you check this out, it's pretty cool. Bear with me, let me just load it up and I'll show you. So every time someone puts in their information, right, that information's here, right? So that information's come in here, and this is a new lead. So all of these are new leads, guys. But what if I could have all of that information automatically zap in on autopilot, so my team can go in and actually call it? Look, watch this.
That's awesome.
So 2 seconds, I don't want to drop this. Zapier, as you can see, the information comes in that they fill out in the form on my website. When this happens, that's a new lead. Create this, and watch this. So I can go down, and it will automatically go into my organisation, Tom Buys Houses, and all of that information will get popped in. So it's automatically a new lead. So the first attempt is call seller, and it will merge all of the name, the seller phone, their address, all of their mortgage. So everything is automated and systemized. That is the difference, Ollie, between remote property flipping, because that's how you run it from a laptop. You need it organised, and you need a system to work around. If you haven't got systems in place, then you're just a one-man band, and you have to have systems. You have to have systems in place.
So let me just ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
So in order to get, let me just go on camera quickly. So in order in using the traditional property investors' techniques and tricks, and how they'd go and find people who needed to sell their house quickly, how long would it take you to get one lead, and what energy would you have to put in order to get that?
Well, to get one lead, a traditional property investor would put out a load of leaflets, and they would put out a load of signs. And
how many leaflets for one lead, maybe?
They would put out about 5 to 10, maybe 20,000 leaflets. I've been hearing stories of about 20,000 leaflets of no calls, and tell me if I'm wrong. I've had a client put out 100 letters. He's got a lease option that's going to make him 25k. A lease option deal is where you take over the mortgage. It's going to make him 25k. Can you pop it in there a little bit?
Yeah.
It's going to make him £25,000, and he actually met the seller because it was in his local area. Cash flows him £270, a built-in equity of 10k, and that was all from direct mail.
Wow.
That's the difference. So you can have a specific direct audience, and you're sending them marketing that speaks to that problem, that audience. So the lease options, they have no equity. You speak to that problem. Below market value, such as repossession lists, divorce lists, you speak to that problem. Or online marketing, such as this, and Google Ads, it all centers and zaps in automatically into Podio, into one place, so you're not worrying. My runnings of this business is looking at Podio, making sure my team are following up, and we've got deals involved. So I'll show you some of the deals we've got going on at the moment. We've got 2 or 3 other deals out to sell, but that's all the deals we've got at the moment. So we've got about 5 to 6 deals at the moment, and we've got other joint clients deals as well. And that's all happening. So I can make sure, and look, I can see the next stage as well. So I can see the next stage of the deal.
So this is all systemized, so
heads of terms signed. I know exactly what's happening next.
So you know what's happening at every single stage of the process, and it's all in one place, basically.
It's all in one place. I've got a document that my team have put together. Can you see that?
Just about. Guys, let us know if you can't see it.
No, you can see it.
It looks alright.
So it's all the information, refurbishment, how much it's worth.
Wilson asks, can you, I think that might be Harley if I'm right, he asks, are there any Podio tutors or any way you can learn Podio?
Yeah, if you go to Podio, if you just go to YouTube, mate, and you can do that. or you can. What I'm going to be in terms of Podio. All the systems I use, I'm going to be going through in the workshop. So it's going to be roll up the sleeves, and we're going to actually do it and execute it at the actual event. So all of my systems, I'm going to pass it on to Ollie in a second and tell you basically what we're going to be doing at the event and the workshop. But all of my systems and my blueprint, I'm going to rip off, duplicate, and plug it in. So all you've got to do is educate yourself for the event and then turn it on. So you've got an action step to follow, a plan that you can go out there and actually make it happen. Because at the end of the day, what do you want to do? You need to know what happens next. I mean, imagine if you just done 1 to 3 deals a month. What if you just done 4 to 5? Maybe, I know some people that are doing 20 deals a month. I've got one client at the moment, Ollie, Sam. Yeah. He's got a 10.5 grand assisted sale going through, and he done that without meeting the seller or actually meeting the buyers. And he's got like 4 or 5 lease options and about 3 or 4 other deals closing and going through. And he's not left his home office. It's like, it's crazy what's going on at the moment. And if you can have a bit of that pie, but so these are all the systems I use. Of course, we can't. It's only Periscope. I've just got a camera up with Ollie at the moment. But okay, so maybe we want to talk about the workshops. Who's interested in the workshop? It's going to be hosted. Let me check the calendar real quick. I'm too busy drinking coffee. It goes to my head and I lose a sense of time. Let me check the calendar. Are you guys using calendars as well, guys? You have to organise things. I mean, I can remember when I started using a calendar years ago, it just made things like so much easier, and people are still writing things on paper. It's crazy. Hey guys, hey Pat, how's it going? Hey Wilson, yes, awesome. So let me check the calendar. So on the 28th to the 29th, we're going to be hosting a workshop in central London at the Washington Hotel, Mayfair. And it's going to be different because we're going to rip off and duplicate everything we have. And let me show you, maybe you want to show it in the back end of your sales, mate.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk about creative property investing. I've got more videos. We've got a sales page coming on exactly what you're going to get. That allows you to make 3 to 10k a month, working 10 to 15 hours a week, packaging deals without meeting the sellers and the buyers. Basically running it from that.
Okay, cool.
From that laptop. Let me pass it on to Ollie. I'm going to grab a drink.
So wait, quick summary before you go, Tom. How many leads came through today, and how many hours did you put into
leads come through today? I didn't spend any hours on the property deal business. I mean, I spent about 6 hours coaching. Okay. I've been coaching clients and I spent 15 hours a day for me goes on coaching because I love it. It's not work. On property deals business, I didn't work at all, and we've got 10 leads come in today.
Wow. So if you compare that to going door to door, handing out leaflets. Or whatever the old way you used to get leads and find these sellers used to look like. Once you've got all these systems automated, and to be honest, I don't understand everything that Tom's doing. I'm just getting into myself. I think I'm going to do property next year. But the point is, you can really build a business that gets you multiple leads coming into your funnel, get multiple deals from those leads, and it's ridiculously scalable because you're not involved in the hard graft and the labour. It's being done for you whilst you're sitting next to a pool like this, being obnoxious, broadcasting on Periscope.
No, it's not obnoxious, man. It's literally. I mean, it wasn't so long ago now that we were working dead end jobs.
Yeah, I worked in a bar for 2 years. And that was only a couple of years ago. I went from that earning £800 a month, and this is less difficult work, really. It's much less tough.
So man, Ollie, so what have you done today? What's your sales been?
So I want to show you my sales for today, and bearing in mind that I spent 4 hours on the business, but I wasn't, processing any of the sales. They were all being done for me. I wasn't dealing with any of that part of the process. I was actually just dealing with a couple of problems I had with customers over the past month that I'd let slide. So this stuff that's happened here doesn't have any of my input, and they just keep churning out over and over and day. Over 44 sales come in, 46 units ordered overall, 2 grand in sales, and average £45 per sale. I had to go down to the post office, ship these items to customers, stand in line waiting for them to call out the number, and then weigh the package and bring 46 units down to the post office.
And the question is to wrap it off, the question is, is how can we basically have what's similar with property and Amazon. One thing is true. 2 to 3 hours a day. I've not worked any hours in my business today.
Awesome.
You can have property and e-commerce and creative strategies on e-commerce and Amazon running alongside each other, giving you 2 incomes.
Yeah, and a side note on that, guys, that's what both of us intend to actually be doing next year. We're going to be teaching each other how to do it. So Tom's going to be doing private labels and I'm going to be doing deals. So
mate, what's your goal, buddy? What's your goal?
Yeah, I think I just answered your question there, mate. I'm going to be blending them next year. I'm going to be starting to do deals, and Tom's going to start to do private labels. So yeah, we want you guys to do this as well.
And this is a public now. What's your goals, mate? What's your goals in property?
Yes, this is going to be recorded, mate. There's a replay that we'll be on for 24 hours, and we'll put it on YouTube and stuff as well. Sorry, mate. What were you saying?
In terms of your goals for property, what is your goals on a monthly basis? How much do you want to make?
So on a monthly basis, I want to match. I probably want to match what Amazon's doing now with property, and I want to outsource all of it, like you've managed to do. So I believe it's possible. I went to your workshop, which was awesome, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if any of you guys who are watching this now were there, but it was just so insightful, and it made me realise that I can match what I'm making with Amazon, which is around 8-9K a month, with deals, and it's doable. Come and see your development in Brighton. Yeah, maybe we'll pop by next time we're around the south. So yeah, that's kind of my goal. I want to have both of these businesses running together. I love having multiple streams of income coming in. I already do at the moment with the various things I'm doing on Amazon. And I do a little bit of education as well, which is always fun. So yeah, can you share marketing tips? Is that a question for me or for Tom? Just so I don't start talking about private label marketing when you really want to learn about property marketing. Tom, okay.
Marketing tips. Yeah, I can do marketing tips. There's 2 forms of marketing. There's online marketing and there's offline marketing. You have to, like Peter Drucker said, you have to measure and track. So you need to be using something like Podio to manage your leads, so no lead gets left behind and falling through the cracks. Because if the leads fall through the cracks, then you're not managing leads properly. So that's what you have to do. You have to have systems in place, and you need to get educated. You have to get educated. Am I biased saying that? Probably. But with me or someone, you have to get educated in this stuff. It's very, very important, because you'll be spending a lot of time divot and davering instead of getting down to the most important things. So with marketing tips, start doing some direct mail. You could go on Zoopla and you could go on reduced prices, properties that are with agents on reduced prices. Go on to Zoopla, search criteria, and you can actually start getting a VA, a virtual assistant on Upwork.com to scrape them leads and to call agents for you or yourself, and you can actually get the addresses of the agents and say, hey, I'm interested in the property, I'm in the local area, but is that okay if I get the address so I can drive by and just set up a viewing? Most of the times they will give you the address, or you can get a VA to do it if you work full time and you don't have the time to do that. Once you've got that, you can start sending them postcards and letters. Postcards and letters saying, hey, I'm interested in buying a house for cash. I saw your house was potentially up for sale, so I'm interested in making you a fast and fair cash offer. Use a simple postcard template on that. Any other task management lifestyle systems you use, everything in Podio. Basically everything into Podio. Sorry, I got distracted there. Beautiful women, I'm kidding. Everything into Podio you want to start using, because what you can do is you can have tasks set where you set a task once and it repeats automatically and that system reminds you. So I'll come back onto that in a bit, Harley.
Okay, so I've got a question for you, Tom. If somebody on this broadcast literally had never heard of, maybe they know a little bit about property but they don't really know what you're doing, what would be like a very kind of brief A to Z set of like action steps they could take in order to do their first deal? What would you recommend they go and do? Maybe you can ask me the same question about a private label product.
Okay, well the first step you could do is come to the workshop. That's a genuine statement.
that's
genuine
cheating.
Statement. It's cheeky. It's cheating. I'm going to give you free stuff. Everyone that knows me and watches my stuff, I give value out. I give you I basically cut through the bullshit and give you what you need to do to make money and have a life as well. But one thing is get educated and put yourself around people that are living it. and actually living a lifestyle. But we get to the questions later, guys.
3K. It's not 3K.
It's not 3K, buddy, for the workshop. The workshop's not 3K. We get onto the price later, but I want to make sure I give value. I respect your. By the way, everyone here, I respect your time massively, enormously, because time is the most valuable asset we have. So that's one of the most important things. What I do is I'm controlling property about using money, credit. I'm controlling that with paper, so I'm getting under an option. So I'm going to go back here. I'm getting under an option and I'm controlling that and flipping that contract onto a buyer or a tenant buyer. So the first thing to do is get educated. Watch some free podcasts. I've got a podcast coming out, www.remotepropertyflipping.com. The website is still in construction, but you're going to actually be able to listen to free stuff, and I'm going to be co-hosting that with Joe McCall. And awesome. He's a good friend of mine, and he was actually at one of our Flip Remotely events in Barcelona. And we're going to be talking about how you can do this, what is needed to go from A to Z, how can you start packaging property deals without meeting sellers, viewing the houses, and how you can start doing that right now. Even if you're an experienced property investor, what if you could have more areas to target, generate more leads, and close more deals? How would that change your life? And you could have your life back. It's about having your life back, guys. Look, check this out, guys. This isn't even to brag. This is just, it doesn't matter. Most of the time I'm working just at a prep, but it gives you more freedom. Yeah. And it's the same as Amazon. Maybe let's go into what we're going to be doing at the workshop, because we're going to be going quite deep into details and tell them what you're going to be bringing and what's different about this workshop. Tell them what you're going to be bringing.
Okay, so I think the number one focus is going to be how we can get you to your vision, because I assume most of you guys are overworked and underpaid. Most people who I hear complaining about things, most of the time they're complaining about work. People they work with, the hours they're doing, the fact that they're not getting paid enough, blah blah blah. So how can you change that? How can you put in the least amount of time, or get to the point where you're putting in the least amount of time and making really an income that gives you the chance to actually do the things that you want to get on with doing, and still have the income coming in. So we're going to be focusing on that, and we're using Amazon and remote property as tools and as conduits to get you to that point. And the best thing about both of these businesses is that they are relatively accessible. You don't have to have thousands and thousands in the bank to start an Amazon business or a property business. You can start with you can start with less money than you would have needed.
Well, if you want to say, for example, some of you guys they might just want to make $3 grand a month from FBA and white labels, but what if some people out there that want to make £10,000 to £20,000 a month? Is that possible with your strategies?
Make how much, sorry?
£10,000 to £20,000 a month.
Absolutely, yeah. Amazon is easily as scalable as property, because really, each private label product that you have can be doing, several thousand a month. If you get your marketing on point and you get a real base of customers who love your product, you can do a 6-figure income with one product, and that's possible. It's not probable in the beginning. You'll be looking at 1 to 2K a month per product maybe, and then you just scale up from there. But yeah, absolutely, because the time you put in doesn't really increase that much as you scale. In fact, it gets less. So you can remove yourself from the business, let Amazon do most of the work, let the systems be in place, so they can be doing the work for you as you make more sales and introduce more products into your inventory.
Awesome.
Good stuff. So guys, if you've got any questions, we want to take this time really just to try and help you out. I know you've been typing a few in. Okay, so what is the longer... Okay, let me just try and... the long-term future for your Amazon selling model, would it still work as a model in 10 years? To be honest, I haven't thought that far ahead, but...
Well, the question there,
to be honest...
is Amazon going to be around?
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. Is Amazon going to be around? Amazon, as far as I know, their business model is, let's put as much of our profits back into the business as physically possible. As you know, a couple of years ago, they weren't doing anywhere near as much as they're doing now. Last year they crossed the 100 billion mark, and I think this year they're going to be going even higher, and they're going to be on the same level as Walmart in a couple of years, which is around the 500 billion mark, and those guys are in massive competition with each other, etc, etc, etc. So Amazon isn't going anywhere. Okay, and there's also the counterpoint that once you've got an Amazon business, you've got products that sell, you've got an inventory that people want to spend money on, even if you weren't selling it with Amazon, why couldn't you put it on your own e-commerce store, start your own entire brand, and get customers coming to your website buying your products outside of Amazon? So it's a business that you can transfer, and e-commerce isn't going anywhere. You know, it's just growing and growing. I think at the moment it's a $1.5 trillion industry. So there's just so much room for you to slot yourself in, and people are buying more and more things online. You know, you go into a high street, a lot of the shops, like, you know, video game shops are going down, music shops are going reducing, and they're all being cheers. I do try. I said good answer. They're being replaced by coffee shops. You know, a lot of these shops in town, you go into any town centre now, it's all tanning shops, coffee shops, and things like that, because people are buying stuff online. So yes, it's definitely a long-term plan. I hear some people selling their own brand as big biz for big bucks. Yes, you can sell, as in sell the business. Yeah, it's a tangible asset, exactly. Once you've got a income that's growing every month, you can sell it for 30 to 40 times the net income, monthly income. So let's say your business is doing 10k a month. Mine's almost there now. I could sell it for, what's 10 times 30? 300,000? Yeah. If I'm able to remove myself from the business and there's an investor who will buy it. You know, so you can pass on these tangible assets to your kids if you want, or you could
property.
Like yield value. Yes, exactly. Because then, you know, an investor can come in and grow the business themselves. They've got a business that's already, you know, hit the ground running, etc., etc., etc.
But that's the thing about the metrics of this business. It's all about having a simple system, same thing as you, keeping it simple, having a system, and then scaling that. So, if you make $4,000, an average a property deal is 4k.
Yeah.
On average.
Yeah.
If you do one deal and take at least 30 to 50% and put that into marketing, you're going to generate about £800 will generate 4k on average if you've got the right systems and sales in place.
It's a powerful ROI.
Imagine then scaling that, being disciplined with your marketing, getting to a 10k marketing pot, reinvesting 50% of that back into the business, and then scaling it and scaling it and scaling it. You're then in the position to make 1 to 3 deals a month. Is it easy? What is easy, guys?
True.
Is it simple? Yeah. Does it take a bit of work? Yeah, you have to execute, and initially you have to put some action. But what is the other choice? And that's about in terms of the workshop we're going to be doing. I mean, who is actually interested in having our systems ripped off, duplicated, and plugged into your business over 2 days in London? That's the questions.
Yeah, there's loads.
What would 50k a month marketing get you? Who's that from? I think I know who.
50k a month.
50k a month marketing. And is this marketing in terms of what? Do you mean marketing in property? I assume you do. 50k a month in terms of that, well, obviously depends, because you're just going to generate more and more leads, but then you've got to look at, have you got the right sales team in place? Have you got the right systems and processes to handle that amount of leads?
You're looking at like 8 times ROI.
You're looking at 8 times ROI, yeah. At the end of the day, but it's all about you. First, to get to that level, you need to have focus to train your team. Essentially, that's what's more. That's a different skill set. Is it because you need to become a good manager and a good motivator to your team? You need to educate them as well.
Okay, so somebody asked, how do you get your products ranked on Amazon? Now, there's a load of ways you can do this. Number one, I would use Amazon's inbuilt pay-per-click system. Sorry, dudes, I'm going to miss out a load of your questions, so just type them in when I've finished, and we'll get back to you, okay? So yeah, in order to get your products ranked on Amazon, basically, it's a combination of pay-per-click in the beginning is so powerful. You can get your product on the #1 page of Amazon by paying about 30 or 40p per click. Now, the conversion rate on Amazon is absolutely ridiculous, because it's the kind of environment where people go to actually buy things. Okay, so when was the last time you went on Amazon just to browse? Like, you go there with something in your mind that you want to buy, and then you find it, and usually you'll buy it or you'll bookmark it and buy it later. So you start off by doing a bit of pay-per-click, and then as you begin to generate sales, your rank will drop. In other words, it will get better. You'll get higher to the top of the scoreboard in terms of the best-selling product in the category. And then as you get more and more sales, the rank drops even more, and then you can reduce the pay-per-click because the rank gets lower, and that gives you an organic rankings boost on Amazon. So once you start flipping over to organic, your pay-per-click will be reduced, and then your organic kind of SEO boost will be a lot higher because sales are generating good rank, which generates good page rank and gets more customers' eyes on your product. So let's have a look. Amazon UK equals Slough.
We get to them at the end. we get.
Okay, yes.
We get to the questions at the end, I think.
Yeah, keep retyping in your questions because we're going to miss loads of them. Because I don't think they get saved anywhere, unfortunately. But it's not.
Do they not get saved?
No, they're just flash.
Keep typing in the questions, guys. We're just going to go over the workshop.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, maybe I can take it. Maybe we'll stand up.
I'm going to get
move
some
a little
water.
bit. Get some water. It's hot.
But I like my heading,
It's hot. But yeah, in terms of the workshop, guys, and this is something I'm so excited about actually, especially bringing Ollie in because Ollie's travelling a lot and he's sort of busy doing nothing, if you like. But he's doing really, really good stuff, and it's amazing. And what he's doing, I mean, I'm basically just surrounding myself with him as much as possible because I want to set up an FBA business and have white labels automated. I don't want to be working in the business, I want to be working on it, like creative properties. So it's going to be a 2-day event where we basically immerse ourselves in setting up a business that can run for us in spite of us. That comes from the right systems, the right marketing strategies and tools that are needed to be able to do it, pretty much. And to be able to actually, for you guys, to take our systems and years and thousands of hours that you can take and then put straight into your business. And there's certain, like what Harley just put there is principles on this. So the E-Myth and the 4-hour work week. There's certain systems and processes and a mindset that's needed to be able to have this. You can't just go out there and do it by yourself. It might take you a few years to do that, but why not learn from someone that's doing it right now? And I love to teach, and and some of my clients are doing amazing stuff. And I know Ollie's clients are doing incredible from his new FBA Secrets program. And it's amazing. So we're living this stuff, and I want to share it with you. I'd love to meet you in person, shake your hand, and look you in the eye, and have a drink after as well in the bar, and just basically chat about life as well. But the workshop's going to be on the 28th and the 29th. And we're getting, maybe we can both chat. It's going to be on the 28th and the 29th. It's going to be Amazon and property. It's going to be how to set up an automated business that between them both, you'll be working 15 to 25 hours a week to be conservative. Yes, you can work less, but initially, guys, you need to put work in, okay? It's not a push-button system. You need to execute. You need to put work in. But what if you put 6 months of work in and then you are making, let's just say, 3 to 5 grand a month from property and Amazon?
This is entirely possible, guys. I know it sounds a bit crazy, maybe. It did sound a bit crazy to me in January, but once you've obviously got all of the tools you need in order to do it, plus you believe it's possible, and surround yourself by people who are doing it, it's totally doable. It is totally doable.
100%. Yeah, I have some of my clients there probably as well that are doing. Some are doing 17k this month. Some are doing just 4 or 5k. But it's still life-changing stuff. So we're going to be good. There's going to be a sales page and so on that walks you through step by step what is actually going to be in there. But it's going to go quick, and we're going to put out to thousands of people on the email list, the podcast. So it's going to go quick. But I want people that have taken the time here, that are serious, to join us in London. It's at the Washington Hotel in Mayfair. And if you are interested, what do they need to do next?
What do they need to do next?
Yeah.
What do they need to do next?
They need. What do they need to? Well, you need to go swimming, guys. What if I just randomly just started swimming? I'm going to shock Periscope and try and get this viral. I'm going to just dive in. Pardon? And as you can see, guys, we're just having fun. It's raw, uncut. We don't need to be pretend gurus with suits and ties that are strangling my neck trying to be something. If you want to come, all you got to do is just actually message me personally. You can add Tom Wade on my personal Facebook if you haven't done it already, or add Ollie as well, and just message us, because we haven't actually put it out live yet, but we will. And if you want to get an early bird ticket, it's going to be $747 for an early bird ticket before it goes up to $997 in the next 2 to 3 days. But if you want to come and you actually want to be one of the 20 and you want to work with us personally, get all of our stuff basically, we don't hold back, then yeah, just PM us, guys. But let's get on to questions. But who's interested in that, guys? Who's interested? Drop us a message. Whoever's interested. If you're not, then that's cool. Just watch our free stuff and go out there and make it happen, guys. I'm here to help with free content and so on. But if you want premium and you want someone that's going to basically tell you, do this, do that, get the result, property and Amazon, then we can go with me at Beham. Good stuff.
Awesome. Here,
for sure. Okay, guys, all you got to do is PM us, because these do go pretty quick, and the hotel room only has up to 20 people. Already messaged, one step ahead. Good job, Holly. Interested. Do you need to secure option agreements through solicitors? I always recommend using a solicitor, but I give you all of the contracts you need to use. So we use a simple option agreement, allows us to control the property, and then allows us to assign that to an investor if it's a below market value deal, or if it's like to a tenant buyer. But again, it'd be impossible for me to go through that now.
But I want to say about the workshop, actually, guys.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so what our aim is really is to have you guys leaving the workshop on the Sunday evening with everything you need in order to basically get going. So I think, Tom, are you going to be helping them with Podio or what?
Yeah, they basically, in terms of Podio, you're going to have that. You're going to have all of my custom-made apps, all of my automation plugged in by my team before you even turn up for the event. Awesome. And they're going to have all of the systems and previous some training that's going to actually give you an overview of it. And like I said, guys, even if you've been on the fence for a while and you think, oh, I can't do this, it's possible. It's possible to do it, because my clients are doing it. And forget me, have a chat with my clients that are doing it. You know, they're doing this with. It's changed their lives. Have a chat with them, and I'm more than happy. I want to be accountable to you. I don't want to say this works for me. I want you to speak to my clients, and you can have a chat with them. So just PM me if you're still on the fence about that. But yeah, I just want to give you what works at the end of the day.
That's
you know,
right. I think I'll give you
tell them
a load of guidelines as to what kind of products you want to be buying. I'll give you my entire system for how I actually score whether a product is going to be profitable. And also give you my entire breakdown of how I buy very small batches of products and then test them and get the raw data as to whether they sell. So then you can go and confidently invest more money. So literally after these couple of days you've been hanging around with us guys, we're going to have like a projector at the back of the room with our laptop screens on, going through all of our systems kind of bit by bit. Ollie, where's best to get products at the start? I tell you what, mate, what kind of level are you at? Because I don't know if you're in my Automate Amazon UK Facebook group. I'm going to be putting like a free fast start guide in there for you guys.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so I want you to basically get started before you even come to the workshop, before you invest in a course. I'm going to put a fast start guide in there. Wow. Okay, you're a beginner, so yeah, I'd recommend you get a head start now and go to Facebook, type in Automate Amazon UK, and as a pinned post in that group I'm going to put a fast start guide, so you can literally start buying products like this week that you can start making money from.
So quick question, Holly, if I'm to Amazon, this stuff is like it's crazy, it's real, and some people are charging $2 to $3 grand a workshop for this, and you'll give them training, that's the support. I didn't even know that. So another thing, what if, say for example, or be conservative, someone comes, if they take the action and follow what you say with drop shipping or FBA and white labels, what can they make in say 6 from today? In 6 months time, what can they make if they execute realistically? You're looking at a few thousand a month.
Like that's obviously I can't guarantee anything, and you know, obviously it's totally up to the action you take, and some people will make a couple hundred, some people go absolutely insane and make like 5 figures a month, and you just basically have the tools to scale. And also another thing I'm going to be telling you about is, right now you might not have much money. I started with literally nothing, and what happens is as your business grows I can actually put you in touch with lenders who will lend you cash to invest back into your business based only on the revenue that you're getting through your Amazon account every single month. So they won't care about your credit score or anything like that. They'll just look at how much money your business is making, plugs directly from their website into your Amazon account, and based upon that data they will lend you cash. So I can help you scale up using techniques like that. Obviously, once you understand how everything works and you feel confident, you started small. Yeah. Yes. That's Harley, right? Is that
Yeah,
the right
Harley,
dude?
yeah, the questions
Okay.
come in.
Awesome. Yeah. There's one called iwalker.co.uk. I've used them. They're really, really nice guys. Like, and I'll teach you how to scale up your business to the point where you can get more money and make it even bigger. So don't worry if you don't have too much stuff right now. So we're trying to think of a few other ways we can help you guys. Is there anything we can go over right now? Maybe
Any questions?
about the workshop, questions about where to start,
We've
where
got
to find
tons
out
of
more
people
info.
coming.
Facebook page is called Automate Amazon UK, or just add Oliver Denyer, and you can have a look. All based off current income, absolutely. So you don't need to worry about credit score or anything like that. Absolutely, yeah. These services, guys, are so powerful.
Sorry. We're crazy.
Yes, yeah, up to no good in this.
We're crazy, guys.
We've probably.
What's that? Is it, Tom, I've been doing direct mailing with little success to negative equity. List any advice? You've had little excessive negative equity. Well, that's either two things. It's the area you're doing, or it's you're not consistent. Have you followed up at least 5 to 6 times to the exact list? Because what's the term? Money is in the follow-up. So it works. I'll just put out like £400 worth this week on direct mail. One client, David Fernley, is just sending out some direct mail. He's just closed a lease option deal that I mentioned earlier. 10k equity, cash flow is £240 a month. And that guy's potentially got another 5 to 6 properties in his portfolio. So it does work, but some feedback for you, buddy, is it's going to be the area, or it's going to be tweaking the letter slightly, because it works. Direct mail works, but you've got to tweak it and test it. I would follow up again. If that's not working, I would change your area as well. And maybe, what area are you doing, buddy, as well? Lost you for a while. Automate Amazon UK. That's it.
Yeah,
Automate Amazon UK, and you can go on that.
Loads and loads of content into
Birmingham. You're doing Birmingham. Birmingham. I would change the area there, buddy. For Birmingham, to be honest, I've tried it. Birmingham it's an okay area, but it's up and coming, and the equity is getting more positive. So I would change it to Yorkshire, South Yorkshire. Maybe go around northeast areas. It's all about consistency. But let me ask you one question, Birmingham. I'm not sure what your actual real name is. I'm not sure it's not Birmingham. But wait, whoa! God, and he fell in. Sorry. What is? He fell in. That's hilarious. That's like a public. How's Newcastle? Mate, go on to negative equity heat map, and then you can see from yourself. Okay, negative equity heat map in the UK. There's over 200,000 people in the UK still that have little to no equity, and even people that have 10 to 15 grand of equity, it's nothing after agent commission. But one question, Beham, how much times have you sent to that same list? Because it's all about following up in this business. Okay, it's all about knowing your metrics and following up. Seriously enjoyed the live interview. You guys are killing it. Thanks, Harley, man. Appreciate that. Once, but no replies at all. Well, that's it, mate. Once, you've only sent it once. And how much letters did you send? You should always split test your mailings. Are you in my coaching? What's your name, by the way, buddy? I'm not sure if you're in the coaching or you just followed my free ebook. Okay, that question's going to come through. But yeah, it's all about follow-up. It's the same thing as anything. Business is, money is in the follow-up. I think you should try the South. Hi there from Pakistan. Hey, Tom, what was the heat map? Just type in negative equity heat map on Google.
BBC
I'm not in your program. There we go, Rick. You need to get in there. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. What you've got to do, buddy, is you have to follow up. You have to make sure you're hitting that list 4 to 5 times. I'm going to... There's and what they say is 71% of business owners stop following up or something. I don't know what the exact statistic is, but there's only 10% that will follow up, and they get 90% of the business. They follow up after 5 to 6 times. That's what it is. So you've got to keep tweaking areas and changing. The great thing about this business, buddy, is Rick, is you can do this business remotely, so you can target other areas as well. Okay. So any other Q&As, guys? Any Q&As about like lifestyle, what we do in terms of like hobbies and just in general? I mean, how we're doing what we're doing? I mean, because if you met me if like 4 years ago, I was basically depressed doing the same stuff I was unhappy, I didn't have any vision, I wasn't the nicest person to be around, I had doubts, I basically fears.
Flopped. Oh yeah, let me answer that question for Harley. Any Amazon products flopped? To tell you the truth, mate, I've got an entire system which I call the product safety net. If products do flop, at the moment I haven't bought in like massive, like 3,000-4,000 quantities because I don't need to. I do lots of products and I buy slightly smaller amounts than that to spread out the risk. But at the moment I've never really had a product that never sold. What you can do if a product flops, you've got a few options. You can assess other marketplaces like eBay, see if you can actually sell stuff on eBay. This is ridiculous. You can list a product on eBay, have Amazon ship it to the eBay customer. So you can still be in Hawaii or in here, Cafe Royale. Your product doesn't sell very well, but it sells on eBay. You can literally get Amazon to ship it to eBay customers for you, and that's ridiculous, ridiculously helpful. Other things you can do is get Amazon to post the stuff back to your house and then sell it to a liquidation company. And basically what you want to do is you want to be in a situation where, number one, you've analysed your products really, really well, so that doesn't happen too often. Number two, you want to make your inventory wide rather than deep. So you have, say you have £100 to spend on product, you're spending £10 on one item, £10 on another, £30 on another, rather than spending £100 on all of your items, because then diversity, exactly. It's a little bit trickier with private labels, but that's why it's really, really important to test a small, buy a batch of 50 or something, put them up after you've done obviously loads of market and product research, and then you can see how those 50 products sell over the period of a week or 2 weeks or a month or whatever, and from then on decide whether to buy thousands more. So yeah, to answer your question, I haven't had any products massively flop just yet. Everything I've bought has sold, which has been awesome, really. How long did it take you to break through, Tom? Okay, Tom has gone for a little wander, so I'll try and remember that question. I don't know where he's gone, but he'll be back, I'm sure. So, any other questions from you guys I can get to now, or I can just start rambling about something else? Maybe show you some of the cool stuff around here. Does Amazon referral fee eat margins? It does eat your margins, but you basically, if you type into Google FBA calculator, type in any ASIN, which is like the product identifier for a product, you can see how much you're going to be paying on Amazon fees, and then you work that into your analytics before you buy a product. So if you compare that to setting up your own website, sending ads to the website, building up your own brand and things like that, Amazon's 15% referral fee is nothing. Like, it's so much cheaper. What products am I selling? I sell literally products in almost every category at the moment. How long does it take for you to earn on Amazon before getting your product live? It's an interesting question. With private labels, it is a bit of a slow burner. It's going to take you, maybe a couple of weeks to a month to research and test the product, then another couple of months really to get your initial investment back. And then after that, then you'll begin making profit. So it's something you can do with very little time, but it does, work hours time, but it takes a little while to get things rolling. Examples of products I've sold. I've sold small products in the kitchen and home category and in the toys category. And it's best not to tell other people what products you're selling, because then all the time and money you've spent on product research will be kind of wasted. So remember that when you go for that's why a lot of these gurus never really tell you what they're selling, because yeah, it takes a lot of effort to analyze the product that works. So let me give you an example of products that other people have sold that work really well. Let me think. Nut milk bags, little bags that you strain, say, almonds to make almond milk with. They're really, really light, really, really cheap. You can buy them for like 5 or 10 cents, sell them for like £7.99. Hasn't been cracked in the UK market yet, really, so maybe go check that out if you want. Another example, little hammocks for dogs. In the back of a car, the dog comes in all muddy and wet and gets all over the back of your car, all over the seats. Well, if you buy this little hammock that goes over the hooks onto the back seat of the car, onto the front seat, dog can sit on it. They fold up to being really small, and they're kind of not really very well tapped products you could try. Things like that, things that are very kind of light, small, aren't going to break, stuff like that. But I'll basically, I have an entire scoring system to decide whether a product's viable or not. glass straws on the up. Oh, really? Okay. Dad sells books on Amazon, but he wants to expand into other areas. Any suggestions? Yeah. Try and connect with individual suppliers dotted around. Maybe do a bit of retail and online arbitrage where you're looking around stores, like for clearance items and things, and grab Profit Bandit is the best way to start finding products to sell on Amazon as a beginner. You literally just scan things with the camera on your phone. It tells you whether they're going to be profitable and how quick they're going to sell. You can make quick decisions and send them into your account. So Tom, somebody asked a while ago whilst you were having a little stroll, how long it took you to break through with property. So maybe you could
Good question. Who's that?
answer that.
Yeah, good question.
I'm not quite sure who it was. The writing's really small on the screen, so...
Okay, what was the question again, boys?
How long did it take you to break through? Probably. How long did it take you to do your first deal?
Break through? Well, for a while it was just dabbling, basically. Most people dabble and don't, commit to master anything. So I was dabbling for quite a bit. But when I started to commit and actually do it, I was dabbling for about 4 or 5 months and not focusing properly. Once I started to commit and learn it, learn marketing and sales and all that good stuff, I went from month 1 to month 4. It went from 0, I was making like 700-800 quid in GNC to 40k over them 4 months. And did it take a lot of work? Yeah, it did. It did take a lot of work at the time, and I'm continuously always immersing myself. And again, guys, you're going to have people that tell you you can't do it. You're going to have people that get jealous of you. You're going to have all of that crap, but you have to block out the noise and you've got to focus. Yeah. That's what you have to focus, and the majority of business is doing that. Quick tip: buy a book called The One Thing by Keller Williams. Okay. Buy that, and that's going to help you a lot. So buy that book and block out the noise and just focus. Learn from someone that's done it. What was Tony Robbins? Is find someone that's done it, that's successful, model them and copy them, and just do it.
Another random tip is use no as a motivator. When someone says you can't do it, literally just make it your mission to just completely prove them wrong and be ridiculously smug about it, because it is the best feeling in the world. Like if you tell your friends and family, like. This year in January, I told my friends and family that I was going to make 10k in December. Basically, I said that, and they were like saying things to me like, "Oh, that's nice, Ollie. You're going to start a business. It's risky, blah blah blah." And now it's done. Yeah, so you don't have to say anything once you've got results. Which Amazon country are you selling on? UK and US. I do a bit of US as well. I'm connected with a couple of suppliers who ship things into my account for me in the US, which is something I can hook you up with as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
As a beginner, wrap up in a few more minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna probably end it soon, but we'll take a few more
questions. Call actually coming up. Yeah.
As a beginner, what's the best way to start with Arbitrage or FBA? I'd literally recommend you going to the Automate Amazon UK Facebook group. I'm going to be putting a fast start guide in there, so literally from A to Z, how do you find products that are profitable? How do you set up your Amazon account, send them in, and begin to make sales? So I'd recommend you do that because it's free content. I'm only going to leave it up in there for a while and things. But yeah, so go to Automate Amazon UK in Facebook. Join the group. I recommend all you guys do this because I'm going to be giving loads of free content away this month. Try and help you as much as physically possible.
Awesome. Any last fire question? Any quick fire questions? Tom, have you seen some guys Podio integration the guys in the States are doing? Seems insane. Yeah, I know Joe McCall. I know Joe McCall and Dan. I don't know Dan as much, but Joe McCall, I'm hosting a podcast with him, and yeah, I basically model their apps, tweak them to the UK.
Does Claude use Podio?
Claude doesn't use Podio, no. Claude doesn't use Podio, he's just a sales machine. Claude Diamond, start following Claude Diamond as well, he's a great sales expert, he's a brilliant guy as well. But yeah, I've modelled what Joe's apps does, and I have the same thing, like my VA sends all my direct mail, everything happens within the business. I only spend 3 to 4 hours a week just looking into Podio to make sure things are running smooth. But again guys, at the end of the day, is stop getting too caught up on the little things and focus on what's important. Think of that Starbucks. What do they need to make money? They need marketing, they need leads coming in, and they need to be able to close them leads and turn them into deals, and that's making offers like, do you want some coffee, do you want black Americano, soy latte, all of that stuff. So you understand, and then keeping it real simple. It's going back to basics.
Yeah.
And the same as Amazon as well.
Yeah,
And
so you want stock on your shelves. Like if you have a little news agents, if you don't have any stock on your shelves, people aren't going to buy it from you. So same thing with Amazon. You know, you want your inventory to be growing, so there's more chances of you making sales day to day, week to week. The more stuff you have in there that you've analysed, you know that's going to sell, the more sales you're going to make, your income's going to increase.
Yeah, I also want to say, just to wrap this up, guys, any quick fire questions we do, but just to wrap this up, it's the mindset before you embark on the journey and do it. It's every time I'd say to all the clients to do it, to go out there and make it happen, because if you don't have, you're not mentally right up here, you're not willing to do it, and you're not willing to face the adversity from third parties. I mean, even someone here is giving us weird looks, but I don't care. I don't care, because I just focus on what I need to do and giving the best I have. Because if you do that, yeah, he's going to get only youngsters. Only youngsters. Well, guys, it's not the age. And one thing I recommend you watch is a Gary Vaynerchuk's video on my Facebook profile, and he's talking about how 40-year-olds make excuses. So the battery was going, how 40-year-olds make excuses saying, I can't do it because I haven't got the technology. Guys, stop making excuses.
Yeah. Dale Carnegie calls it age excusitis.
Stop making it and just do it. And do it and come and have a chat. Any other books you recommend? Mindset? Yeah, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. You can get the 4-Hour Work Week, the ebook. E-Myth Revisited is good. And just focus on them books, and then we'll be talking about all the productivity tips at the workshop. Can you recommend solicitors for lease options? Yeah, I can recommend solicitors for lease options. You've got Chris Coates that does it, and you've also got Barton Legal. If you just type in Barton Legal, get in touch with Trish there. And you've also got Sam Hawking as well. If you just type in Hawking Solicitors on Google, lease options, that will come up. We're going to take 5 more questions, guys, and we're going to wrap it up. And again, your action step, if you want to be at the workshop on the 28th or 29th later this month in November, just reach out to us. We are putting it live and putting out to our subscribers and email list as well, so it is going to go. But if you want to get in at 747, just PM us, and then we'll send you the details. Awesome. Did you enjoy this, guys? Hopefully, I mean, it's new to me, Periscope. I've just literally downloaded it. It's new to Ollie as well, but he told me about it. And have you been enjoying it, guys? Just give us some feedback. Cheers for the hearts, guys. We love you as well. Let us know. Brilliant, guys. Great. Thanks, Tom. Very positive guy. Well, mate, you either be positive or you be some negative complainer. And you don't do that. And Ollie. Yeah, Ollie's great as well. And that's why we hang out. You just put yourself around people. It's just social. It's your sphere of influence. Thanks, brothers.
Hey, thanks, man. Cheers for coming.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate
See you later.
Ooh, lots of hearts. What
Thanks
are those
for the
guys?
hearts,
Do you guys know what those hearts actually do? Can someone tell me? That would be awesome.
What the hearts do?
Yeah, what do the hearts do? Except for boost our
We're
egos.
not a couple, guys. Thought something. Maybe we are.
Got one on the way.
Oh, man. Some funny. Like on Facebook, night idea. Haha. Yeah, we're not quite saying, guys. But you have to lose. I always say you have to lose it to get it.
True.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Wish you guys well again.
You too.
Again, put hands up and a yes if you're going to come to the workshop, guys. Just give us a yes, so I know. I want to make sure that, we're not doing the next one till February. Always nice to hear you guys. Always nice to hear you as well. Yep.
Have a nice evening, man.
We've got quite a few yeses coming in here. Awesome. Okay. Cool, guys. We'll catch you. I don't know how even to turn this on.
We need to end it.
Yes.
Cheers, guys. Absolutely. Hey, you're very welcome, man. Guys, again, join Automate Amazon UK. It's growing at the moment. I'm going to put loads and loads of content in there. See you in the Facebook group. Barton Legal, did you say?
Yes.
Yes, Barton Legal.
See.
Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. And we're going to put a stop to it there. There's going to be a replay. If you missed anything that we've said, you can literally view it for 24 hours. Then hopefully we'll learn how to put it on YouTube as well. See you guys.